Hello. How are you? I want to talk to you about what I'm doing. I'm doing a 30-day self-pleasuring challenge. Not sure if you've ever thought about doing this, but it is really amazing. I started doing this not because I planned it, it just happened. And I wanted to kind of share my experience and what's going on. And I would love to hear from you to see if you've done something like this. And you can write your experience in the text below. So it's been a really beautiful experience. So Christmas Day, I ended up having a self-pleasuring session, and the next morning I woke up, did the same thing, and they were so powerful that my whole entire being said, you need to do this. You need to do this daily for 30 days. And that's a big deal for me, especially since, 5 years ago, I had a challenging time. I had most of my life had a challenging time self-pleasuring with my hands, just because it was just easier to use a vibrator. And my mom actually raised me to not touch myself, because she said that touching myself would cause me to be less sensitive, which is so not true. But to deprogram that out of our systems, out of my system, has been really a challenge. And so these last few years, like coming into the practice with my own body, my own hands, without vibration and stuff like that, has been really, really a delicious experience. And today is day 14 of 30 days. And so coming into this experience, just being able to like pour love into my body with no expectation, no needing to get off or not needing to get off, just like see what my body wants. Like every day it's a little different. And so I get to listen even more deeply than I did before, because every single day I'm doing this. And maybe find a different position, use a different non-vibratory dildo, or something that actually opens me up that my body's actually asking for. And so there's a whole mess of learning and growth, and there's a lot of expansion. And what I'm noticing, there's days that it feels like I'm not in charge of my hands. I'm not in charge. It's like spirit's coming through me, and it's almost like spirit is guiding my hands, and I'm actually being taken out of control, which a lot of people say you can't take yourself out of control. I'm here to say that some people can, and I'm one of those. And there's just times that I'm like, wow, who's guiding this? And I feel like when we connect to our deeper spirit, our deeper self, diving in deeper, we actually can go to those far out places of not being in charge and letting our own pleasure guide us. So I also want to share, like, there's times that, like, we wake up and we're like, oh, I'm not, like, I woke up this morning, like, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for this. What am I doing? And I just listened to my body and said, okay, well, what can you do? Does this mean I do something else? How does my body get into that mood? Because in Tantra and sacred sexuality, it's not about being on all the time. It's about, where am I now? Being present with my body, listening to it and connecting to my heart first, and then seeing where it goes. And so I listen to my heart. And my heart just asked me just to touch my whole entire body without any goal or anything like that. And eventually my body woke up and said, okay, let's try this. It was easeful. It was graceful. It was sweet. And it wasn't like this big, intense thing. I used to think that it had to be this big, intense thing and had to take a long time. And, taking 15 minutes to an hour every single day to self-pleasure is like a beautiful gift. Because then, after having this beautiful experience and listening for my body's desire, and then seeing when it was done, and then allowing myself to go, okay, I'm done. just to hold myself, because I'm connecting to spirit, I'm connecting to my heart, I'm connecting to my sex, I'm connecting to my mind, connecting to my whole being. And in that, there becomes an awakening that happens. And then it just shifts the whole entire rest of the day, which is really, really beautiful, to have that shift. And so, hello, Kristen. So I just want to invite you in to having a self-pleasuring session, even a self-pleasuring challenge with yourself to say, how can I get there? And one that's honoring to yourself and loving to yourself. Let me see, what do you say here? Kristen, studies recommend. Yeah, there's no goal of orgasm. Like if climax happens, and I believe climax and orgasm is totally different also. Orgasm is throughout the whole entire body. Climax is literally just like in the sex. And so there is no goal. There's just pleasure. And there's just connectedness to spirit and heart, and connecting heart, sex, and spirit all together with no goal. And anyway, so I highly recommend that you take on your own challenge, whether it's 3 days or 15 days or 30 days, or in the yoga world, 40 days is like a really great way of creating a pattern in your life. And so sometimes 40 days is really beautiful. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, I might actually move it to 40 days. We'll see. And see what comes up for you, because I'm realizing while we get to do this, we get to learn more things about our body, what pleasures us, new sensations that we've never, at least for me, I'm feeling things I have never felt before, because every single day I get to practice instead of like a few times a week or 5 days a week and stuff like this. It's like, and there's something about the ritual of doing it every single day that it's like, it's diving in deeper with self, spirit, heart, sex. It's awesome. I'm going to be doing a coaching program one-on-one, and I'm going to be doing workshops with women around pleasure, self-pleasuring, owning your power, embodying your pleasure and your self-love of your body and yourself. If you're interested in that, please private message me. I would love to hear from you. Only taking about 5 clients, and and I'm excited about putting this work out more into the world because we need it. So have a glorious day. Bye.